Good morning. It's Monday, June 30th, kicking off another week. This week, we got a whole lot of project work, really diving into, got a couple things going on, but we're wrapping up a couple of projects, starting a few more, and really diving a lot deeper into a recent collaboration, I guess you could say, or a more deep dive into one of our oh man, this is me before coffee. I haven't drank any of my coffee yet, so this is like very raw Monday morning. What I'm trying to say is we've got a really sweet week ahead. We've got a lot of fun projects that we're wrapping up that I'm excited to show you guys, a few that we're starting, and also just a lot of big progress that we're trying to make on some more behind the scenes stuff that isn't going to probably show up for a little while, but I'm excited to share those stories with you guys after they wrap up. So I'm going to crush my breakfast sandwich that I didn't get to eat before I left, and my coffee, and then we're going to jump into it. So cheers. Dude, it was so rough getting up this morning. It's like we had the window cracked, fan going. It was just like the perfect temperature. It was like, oh, dude. It's so hard to get up.
I didn't even realize it was that time.
Camera aids first.
I
Yeah, not a big fan of that.
do that every time. I don't know. But it's like that shot would have worked fine if it was cropped in. So really, I think just keeping that in mind.
But I've like done like the homepage, for example. Is that when it isn't your design to begin with, it's hard to come in and then like apply that. Yeah. So it's usually, so far, the best results have come when like one person owns like one area from start to finish. So like if you're wireframing, you're wireframing. If you're design, you're design.
That's fair.
Hey Joe, I want to talk about customer user journeys and kind of provide a quick example, kind of explaining why they're important and how it works. So just a quick background, a customer user journey is a detailed visualization of all the different touch points that a customer goes through before becoming a customer and after they've become a customer. The value of this is once you can visualize this, it's very easy to understand where you're getting leads, where you're losing opportunities, so they're choosing someone else instead of you, how you could be providing better service, and then ultimately how you could be contributing back to getting more leads at the very end. So I set this out at a super basic level, and I'll keep this example super easy to track with, because you could spend a lot of time going into a lot of detail with this. So the example I'm going to use is a roofing company. So if you're a local roofing company, what would this look like for you at like a fifth grade level? So let's just assume that people go through 5 stages. They become aware of the problem. They consider service providers. They decide on a service provider. They get the service, and then there's the post service. So for example, in the awareness stage, this is the point where someone becomes aware that they actually need help from somebody, and this always has some sort of trigger. So in this case, let's say for roofing there was a hailstorm and the roof was damaged, so I'm going to say hailstorm plus damage. So I'm a local homeowner. There was a hailstorm, now I got damaged, now I know I need to go find a roofer. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the consideration phase, meaning I need to find someone that's going to help me solve this problem. And where am I going to go? I'm most likely going to go on Google, and I'm going to type in probably like local roofers near me. Because what I'm looking for is I want to quickly find 3 to 5 quick options that are going to generally fit my criteria. At this point, I'm not looking for heavy detail as a homeowner. I'm just looking for what are my options at a high level so that I can then move into the decision and consideration phase. So in this case, the only things that I'm looking for are, first of all, are they local, right? So if I'm based in Minnesota, I'm looking for a roofer that's in Minnesota, and ideally like within my county, so like Anoka County, for example. So are they local? Are they well reviewed? So I'm not even reading the reviews yet, but I'm just looking at like their star rating. So for example, do they have 4.5? Is their average rating like 4.5 out of 5 stars? Stuff like that. And I also want to know, do they have the service, right? Can they fix this problem? Once these questions are answered at just a basic level, I'm then going to take these top 3 to 5 people and I'm going to move into the decision phase. In the decision phase, I'm going to go deeper. This is where I'm going to visit their websites. And just as more context, when I say Google, I mean you're going on Google and then really you're evaluating the GBPs or the Google business profiles, because that's where you're going to get the reviews, photos, kind of the high level snapshot of who they are as a company. Anyways, so after that, I'll move over into the website, and here is where I'm going to evaluate past work. Do they do a good job? Right, I want to understand, can I trust these people to perform a good service? I'm going to do a deeper dive on their services. Do they specialize in hail? Do they specialize in residential, or are they more commercial or HOA focused, right? So I want to narrow down and make sure that they actually can do what I need them to do. I'm also going to read reviews in more detail. And what I'm looking for are people that have been in a similar boat as me, that have chosen these people to solve this problem, that have had a good experience. From here, I also, as a way to differentiate between these 3 to 5, right? Because I can only choose one, so I'm looking for the one that I like best out of 3 to 5. I'm also going to evaluate the company itself. Are the people good? Do I actually like their overall brand identity? Do I feel like I'd actually get along with the people coming out to work on my house, right? So I'm going to go on a deeper dive for all these items. Once this is clear and I've narrowed it down to say 1, right? Because it has to be 1, I can't have multiple people. Then I'm going to move into the service phase. In order to get service, I'm going to either call or fill a form. Most likely, most of these places have that, or either or. And then once I call, then after it, I go in my merry way, but maybe I get asked to leave a review. So I'm going to say leave a review if I'm cool like that. So at a very basic level, now we have an understanding of every touch point on the homeowner. We now have a visualization of what are the steps that I'm going to go through before I commit to being a customer of a local roofing company. Obviously this is super simple, but this is just this general idea is super important to understand. Joe, do you have a good way to explain why this is important, from a flow standpoint, and how this can be used to improve things? Here.
Yeah. That. Yeah, I was thinking of an example to kind of demonstrate this. And I'm gonna.
Oh no! You're gonna take away my writing.
Gonna take away your writing. Or maybe
all of it?
Maybe just a section. I'll just do down here. Okay. So I don't have that much space. So a good way to think of this is like a stream. You've got kind of a couple. This is really bad drawing, but
we're not art majors.
No, we're not. Well, I have a design minor, but that's with computers. Okay, and at each of these spots, you have awareness. Let's say there's kind of a blockage here. So if you've ever been on a stream, made dams as a kid, that kind of thing. We did that a lot as kids, so this is what speaks to me at least. So at these different points, you have these blockages that stop or slow water. So you can think of your leads as the stream. At different points, you have these different streams, and you have to look at, okay, where are my leads getting stuck? Where are they stopping? So let's say, you're getting people to your website, but they're not calling or filling out a form. Well, then there's an issue here. They're getting to the website, but whatever is on the website that they're needing to fill out, or the website isn't properly directing them to where they need to go, or making it easy to fill out the form or call. Or potentially there's a problem with the form, something like that. They're not able to fill it out, either because of the process before or because there's an issue with the actual thing. And so you can think of those as, an unwanted dam in the creek, because then it's going to stop up your leads and stop your flow. So you have to look at those different points and look at the things that are where the blockage is, and you have to clear that out so that you can get that flow of leads again. So another thing though with this is you might want some type of dam or filtration, because you don't necessarily, let's say at the end you want just water, you want just leads, like good leads, perfect, your ideal customer. You don't want logs or other sticks, so you might want to put down some friction, we call it, so that those logs and sticks and whatever else get stuck along the way at the different points, so that by the end you end up with water.
What would be like a good example of like putting in or adding in some intentional friction?
So some intentional friction might be during this consideration phase, like your messaging. So speaking to the right customer, making sure that they know who this is for, can be a great way to help filtrate people out. Like, hey, this is for, let's say, for like a roofing company. They could say, this is for people with
hail damage?
Yeah, hail damage. Or
like Anoka County residents only.
Yeah, county residents only. Ramsey, Minnesota. Like you would put, or Anoka, Minnesota, whatever. Or you could do it by state, that kind of thing. So different things like that filtrate people out. Like if I'm from South Dakota and their thing says, Minnesota or someplace in Minnesota, then it's like, okay, that's not for me, because they're obviously local or serving that area. Now, maybe if they look like a good brand, I maybe would check and see if they service my area, but most likely I'm gonna, ignore them. So that's kind of an example of some friction that you would want to put down, because you don't want people from out of state that you can't service contacting you.
Yeah, that's good. That makes sense. Sweet, good explanation. So this is a good example of something that you should implement in your own business. If you haven't done this already, take like 10 minutes with your team, just whiteboard it. Or visualize it however else you want to. But this is super, super powerful for figuring out how you're getting people, how they're finding you, how they're choosing you, and then how they're actually converting and becoming customers. So that's what we got for this week. You ready for some lunch?
Yeah.
Let's get it. Hey guys. Good. How's Thursday treating you? Business profile a while back, yeah. This is my brother Joe.
Fourth Street Agency, marketing consultants.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A little bit of everything. We come in to basically consult wherever people need, but we'll offer everything from like ad and landing page campaigns to website redesigns. We're starting to dabble with branding and logos. We haven't touched a whole lot of that yet. Also getting into social media. We're trying our hand at some vlogging content for ourselves. A little bit of everything.
So, what about website design? What do you do in that regard?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, like we'll take everything. If you've got something, we'll freshen it up. If you've got nothing, we'll create it from scratch.
And that way you just might need to experiment with what shots we get and kind of how we set it up. Yeah, I guess I've just never done it before, so I don't know like what, you know what I mean, like what things we might want to do in post, so then that affects like how we would shoot it.
I'll put this in between. Joe, can you record just a little quick clip? Luke, say something in that.
What's up? I'm Luke with Fan Pivot. We working? What's up? I'm Luke here with Fan Pivot. We're struggling to figure out lines for what we're gonna say, but I'm testing the mic right now because we have the AC on because it's hot in here, and we're just checking to see if my voice still comes through. Yeah, we're running a 20% off sale. Amazon, go buy it now. Prime Day. We love you. Ready?